This is Colette Claire with the Gauntlet here with Kittie at the Key Club in Hollywood, California. And fucking, man, you got a new album, headlining tour. How do you guys feel? Fucking
Party!
Fucking awesome.
I'm
tired!
That too. Yeah, no, I've come down with some sort of disease. I'm all like, I have a fever. Aww. It's not the swine flu.
We're making bacon.
Yeah, I wish I was making bacon. But yeah, so I'm not doing too well.
Oh, but you're still here playing the show?
Yeah, well,
this is our dedication, people. You gotta come out to these shows.
Yeah, half the tour's sick right now, so.
Oh.
But other than that, we're doing really good.
Yeah. It's a great new album.
Thank you.
Fucking doing really well. And I have a lot of questions about it, because, I mean, you've had the lead guitarist, who I guess wandered off.
Yes.
This is their second album now, and I feel like, I guess I kind of want to ask, when did lead guitar become really important? Because it seems like it significantly kind of, I don't want to say changed the sound, but maybe the direction and the vibe. And did that have a lot to do with the writing of this album?
Well, I mean, it became important to the band when Tara joined. I mean, she is a lead guitar player, and that's her style. And
is that what you were looking for at the time?
Not necessarily, but I think, you know, every person that's in the band, you know, with their individual talents, you know, contributes what they can offer, and you know, she's an amazing guitar player, so it became an important part of what we do. And honestly, I think it's only allowed us to get better and, you know, try new things and explore different avenues of metal, and yeah, so can't complain about that.
And then, so I was reading online that you said this album had more freedom, where you did it without a label, where you just went in and did it on your own.
Yep.
And it sounded like it was kind of like as opposed to the last album, which maybe you didn't like.
As opposed to every album, though.
No,
really.
not necessarily. I mean, in specific, yes. You know, I guess you are correct in thinking that our feelings are directed towards our past experiences with that. It's really tough to explain without getting into too much detail, because you know, nobody wants to get into trouble or point any fingers or anything. But In the Black was written and recorded the way that it was, specifically to be the complete opposite of our last album, to undo things in a way.
Yeah, that was the statement that I read.
Yes.
And on top of that too, though, it's nice to actually have that freedom to not have anybody, you know, breathing down your neck or, you know, whatever, calling in and checking in. It was just us in the studio doing our thing, which not a lot of bands really get to do.
I think lately, though, I've noticed a lot more bands are doing that when they have the power to, or people come together from other bands, like with Five Finger Death Punch, for example. I interviewed them recently, and they just had the clout from other bands to make this album on their own and then sell it. Is that what happened? I mean, you're on the label now, right?
Yeah, well, I think with us, the way that things worked out, we wanted to have a complete package finished before we went to start shopping it. Nowadays, that's kind of, you know, how the industry works. You know, they want something that is
instant gratification.
Ready to go, exactly. So that's kind of why we went in and did it. And I mean, we recorded it with a friend of ours who he actually engineered on Oracle, and now he has his own studio, and so it kind of made things really easy, laid back, and you know, there wasn't too much.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. It was just like, hey, we got these great songs, let's go and record them, and it was really like just raw, kind of the way they were.
Yeah. Why such opposition to the last album, though? I mean, do you not like your last album, or?
I think that's just, you know, I think it's a great album. I think the song, actually, I take that back. I think the songs are great. I just don't think they translated well in the recording because of whatever reason, the production. But I mean, you know, the songs are great. They translate wonderfully live. They sound completely different live than they do on the album, and that's because they were recorded, I guess, differently.
Differently. I see. So, I wanted to ask you about, I guess, newer members. And I'm wondering, I mean, you guys have always been a band that has all female members, and I guess it might sound like sort of a funny question, but how do you always find another female musician when you replace someone?
The internet. Actually, well, the last time we talked to you, we had Jeff in the band, though. Jeff was playing for us, was he not?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, and Jeff before that, Jeff was playing guitar. Jeff played guitar for us for 3 years.
So there was a dude in Kittie.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
But we find people on the internets, or we stalk them.
But I guess my point is that an important thing to you usually, to try to have a female musician?
Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of the unfortunate thing. Like, you know, it's kind of, you know, what our reputation is. And so, yeah,
So
I
people
guess.
expect.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
When we did have Jeff in the band, a lot of people complained about it.
Really?
So, yeah, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but...
Because there's bands, lots of bands with guys and girls now. I mean, when you guys came out, I would say there was not nearly as many as there are now.
Especially, like, all female, like, everybody, like, playing instruments and stuff. I mean, there's still a lot of female vocalists in metal bands and stuff like that, but...
The difference between them and us is we're musicians.
Yeah.
Not just a pretty face.
That's right.